on in to the show here. Let's see who we got here. Everyone, come on in. Come say hi to everybody. So today we have a pretty good episode. I think we're gonna have some fun. You see, I got my Christmas gear decked out. Little dichotomy here, right? We got the Grinch down here, but we got Santa hat up here. Why not? Let's have a little fun with it. It's the two sides. I'd say this is like old Grognard's style, the Grinches that I see on online a lot. I
Oh
try not
yeah.
to be that. I'm not. I don't think I'm there, but there's some. I see a few of them online still, and then we got the fun Santa. Because for us, I think Judd, our show. This is because our next show would be a couple
After
days after
Christmas.
Christmas.
Yeah.
So this is kind
I
of it.
knew
We're
I'd
gonna.
only had to fight with the Christmas trees for one episode. That's why I'm
There's only.
slid over to the left.
Yep. Yep.
So,
Well, we got some guys already saying hi. Hey, hello everybody. Tom, how you doing?
my, that's who I play.
Jeff.
I play Vassal with him every Thursday night.
Oh, with Tom.
Yeah, I told
Nice.
him, hey, be sure to watch.
Exactly. Get him. Come on in. Come say hi, everybody, for sure.
Tom's the reason I
Um,
got the mission, by the way. I always say that.
really.
So,
Okay.
yeah.
I
Kept telling me how
really.
good that game was.
Well,
And
and
Samurai, Napoleon, I mean, CNC.
oh yeah, yep, yep. Your list, that your board game, and I've been on all over your geek list, which that almost deserved its own show. But your geek list on your, what was it,
Top,
100
yeah, top 100.
of this year,
Yep.
or not of this year, but of this year edition, I should say.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've been all over that list. I would posted a whole bunch on there and responded to people, and it was a little late at night when I decided to start posting, and I just was started sharing my honest opinion. There's a
Yeah, that's
couple
what
times
people
where
do.
like,
It's fun. Yeah.
whatever, here's the deal, no big deal. Someone likes something I don't like, that's cool. I don't care.
Yeah.
But and Tom says yes, the Grinch becomes a happy Santa. Exactly by the end. That's right. Christoph, how you doing, Christoph? Remember that Vassal comes from virtual ASL.
Yes, it does. The longest time I kept wondering how Tom Vassal made a war game machine.
Tom Vassal.
And then
Hey,
I think Greg's the one that told me that. Camtag Greg that yeah, it's virtual ASL.
oh yep. Hey, don't knock the dice tower. All
So
right.
yeah.
And Tom says Judd got me into so many games, so all
I'm a
right, good
bad
to know.
influence that way.
We got a bunch of people coming on in here. Good morning, everybody. Good morning,
David,
afternoon,
ooh. I just want Wayne to know that the
David.
Bears are taking the Packers down hard in 2 weeks. So
Morning, Wayne and Judd. Like your sweetness, Jersey Judd. Okay, so how do I forget? How do I ban people? Let's see. Right click. It's not working. All right, I got to figure this out. I'm still trying to figure out the new software. I know it's been weeks. I got no excuses at this point. It's been months now, actually. But oh well. Well, you're gonna survive for now, David. All right, but we'll see. We'll see. Agree. The mission's bright. Yeah, great game.
that's the
Actually, when
craziest game
Judd's
because that's the only game I ever play where I don't care about the score.
it,
I just like
you know,
the narrative is
yep.
so rich. When it's all done, I
There's
go, oh yeah,
some,
I guess I got to add up the score now.
yeah. No, there's a couple like just a couple like that. I think, and it's I mean it's kind of by most games keep score. Let's be honest, but like
Yeah.
war games in general, right? Very competitive. Even solitaire, like you're competing against a system or yourself or whatever. But some of them, there's a handful, small handful that is just kind of it's really about the experience. They all are about the experience, but are really just like you said, at the end you're like, oh, I guess I have to keep score. I have to check the score here, but it was all about the experience, all about the narrative, right?
Yeah, I mean, I play Washington's Wars. It's a big in my mind. It's all tens. I stay up at night thinking about it, even when I got a game comfortably won. But
Yep.
I still want to win, and I know what the goal is, and I'm watching it the whole time. The mission, I'm like, just like roll with it, tell the story. It's fun.
Yep. 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 Well, everybody, thank you. Those who tuning in so far. We got already got. Geez, there had a bunch of people coming in, and we got more trickling in. I love it. So, um, Judd, the expert over there, Wayne, I run the channel. It is a freezing, well, pretty freezing. I know we'll get some random person from Canada who's like, "Well, it's 50 below here." Well, it's one below zero here in Minnesota. Very cold to me. I don't know why I left Missouri. One below zero, and that's one below zero Fahrenheit, freedom units, not
Yes.
Celsius. So it is very, very cold and windy. So I think it was like 16 below with wind chill. Very freezing cold. I'm going back to Missouri. It may not be that much warmer, but it's warmer than it is right now here. But yeah, how about down in Kansas?
Oh, we've been.
20s?
Oh no, no, no. We haven't hit 20 yet. We haven't.
No, not
We
yet.
barely went below freezing once. I think we're we're going to get cold Sunday. I think we're supposed to hit 16, but we've been
Okay.
in the 30s, and usually in the afternoon I can kick my coat off and just wear a jacket. So, I mean,
Yeah.
for a little bit before the sun goes down. So, yeah, it's 40s, high 40s, low 50s.
Okay.
But
All right. And it's been a snowy year this winter, unlike last winter here in Minnesota already. It's like I mean we've had green Christmases even here in Minnesota. It not this year. There's already been I think 16 inches of snow total.
wow.
It's spread out. The biggest one was 9.5 inches, and there's been a couple smaller ones. But my back hurts from shoveling.
Woo.
Oh, I know I can't carry everything. Judd's gonna have to carry the show today because my back
Figured you'd have a
hurts.
snowblower or something.
I so yeah. Well, let's
Go
not go into
steal,
that. Let's save that
go
for another
steal one like
discussion.
Paul Newman in Nobody's Fool. He and
Oh my
Bruce
god, I
Willis end
love
up
it.
stealing it back from each other the whole movie. It's really funny.
I need to go. Yeah, I need to steal one from somebody. Vince, evening all from Japan. Great to see you, Vince. Always good to see you. Always good to see you. And you got Field Commander Lee shipping. Looks like from DVG. Excited to get my hands on a copy. And Paul, hello, hello. All right. Well, we got to dive into it. I have to
Hey,
be
I'll show
done right
you.
at about 10.
Got to
Hmm.
share some Christmas spirit since you got the hat
Please
on.
do. I got my Christmas spirit. What's Judd got? Whoa!
That is the nerd
What's on
tree.
there? I
Nerd
see.
Tree, Spider Man, Dick Butkus,
Yeah,
Chicago Bears, Mickey Mantle. I got my baseball, D Space
love
Nine,
that.
Star Trek, Star Wars, Indiana Jones. It's all our little, my wife and I's nerd stuff. Wonder Woman, all our little nerd
Look at that.
hobbies.
OG, is
So,
that OG Enterprise there in the
oh
very
yeah, I've
bottom
got
corner?
tons of. I got them all the way up through Picard's D, or sorry
I
E.
love it.
So yeah,
I
there's
love
a
it.
Picard's of original Enterprise, Defiant. I mean, it's all nerded out. And there's the infamous K State tree, white tree with
I
all
like it.
purple K State,
That's pretty
and
cool. I dig that.
there's Cthulhu invading Christmas Village. I wrote that
I
blog
think
on
I think
BGG with it.
I was
So,
gonna say I think I saw something on that. Yep. Very nice. So
anyway,
we
so yeah, that's why I'm a little crowded today because we put up
hey,
two.
it's a
The
little
ups,
early, but it's December, and our next show we talk about our next shows after Christmas. So
yep.
Merry Christmas, everybody! Early Merry Christmas, early Happy Holidays. Well, Happy
So
Holidays, right? Enjoy the whole month at least of December. That's what
yeah,
we do anyway.
the
I mean,
heirloom
have
trees
fun.
upstairs, by the way. So there's more than just K State nerd stuff. I put up
Even
three
more than
trees.
just that, yeah. You
Oh
don't
yeah,
make the family come down and
I turned
open up
into a little
presents with
kid at
those.
Christmas. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we're gonna have fun today. So today topic is introductory war games, different genres. Um, when Charles says we've had a warm December so far here in San Diego, we were up to 80s, mid 70s for about 10 days. Charles, you got to rub it in, huh? The only thing I'll say, what's and not to get all crazy here, what's your cost of living there in San Diego to enjoy that 70s? All right, so introductory war games, different genres. We only have till 10 a.m. I got a pretty hard
Ooh.
cutoff at 10, so we have to get through it in the next 15 minutes.
Okay. That lets me know
Introductory
some
war
stuff.
games, different genres. I know I forgot to mention that, Judd. I got a pretty hard cutoff on this one. So
Okay.
in the future we'll have a show where we can go the whole time. But all right, so what we're gonna do is it's not just introductory war games in the sense of like what's a random war game that gets you into the hobby, right? Or gets for you'd recommend to somebody. I mean, if you have that, some of these, well, a lot of these are going to be that. Some are not for me. But what me and Judd are talking about are different genres. So, for instance, and this is not necessarily every game we're talking about, but American Revolution, American Civil War, World War One, World War Two, Napoleonics, Ancients, block games, area impulse style games, card driven style games, modern genre, you name it, right? So
Yeah.
those different types of genres. Yep, go ahead.
Part of it is a lot of people when they say, "Well, I want to play a war game," first question is, "Well, what topic do you like?" So,
That is a
and then
great follow
the
up
other the
question.
other part is like you're just like, "Well, I'm a war gamer, but I like to try a card driven game. I like to see what this area impulse is all about." So some of this is for people who have played war games and want an introduction to a new style, and some of it's for people who just want to, or you like you, Wayne. You said I don't like Napoleonics, so it'd be a good game to jump in. Well,
Yeah,
there's these zillions of complicated games with French names, or I can grab a couple. It'll just get your feet wet. A lot of ways, like Richard Borg got my feet wet in a whole lot of topics with his command and color systems. But
absolutely.
so that was
I
kind of the
like it.
idea, rather than just pick out some super easy games. And I'm a Uragamer, and I've never played a war game in my life. And what should I start with?
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I got a couple. Well, I could probably do all but maybe one to a new person. But hey, whatever works for you. Is the
Yeah.
thing. It's the thing. I have my kind of recommendations. Judd has his, and you guys get to see all kinds of different games and different viewpoints. So, all right, let's jump right in. Like I said, we got a little bit limited time now, so let's jump right in. So let's start off, and I'll just go down the list here, basically what I said. So starting off, American Revolution.
Okay, I have three games on it.
Yep.
One is more for the people who don't really play a lot of war games and just want to see it. Something about the American Revolution. It's not the most
Okay.
realistic, but it's kind of fun. 1775, the Rebellion, Academy Games. Um,
Yep.
Bard introduced me to that system with 1812, their 1812 game. A lot of fun. I mean, people complain that the last, whoever goes last has a very strong chance winning, and it's true. But if you want to get your feet wet and you see somebody playing it, give it a shot. So, a lot of fun with that, really high quality. Second one is I mentioned it last week on our Worthington one. Hold the Line. This is the first
Yeah.
edition. There's a second edition with miniatures. I just kept with mine. I like miniatures, but this game was perfect in every way to me. This is one of those games like a memoir where the board's blank and you got tiles and you set it up and you can fight a whole bunch of different battles. So
Nice.
when I first got an American Revolution, this was a great game to play just the battles. You know, you want to know what Monmouth's about, you want to know what happened on Long Island and stuff like that. And the last one, I think I mentioned this one time other the Road to Independence.
Oh
It's by
yeah.
White Dog Games. It's a Yahtzee style or game, or if you played Eldritch Horror, where if you want to, you have to move around. You're not going to just randomly go around the board. It has to be connected areas. So it's kind of has this war gameish feel, and there's different cards with advantages. But you have to roll you roll your dice, 3 times you can lock some in, but you have to meet the requirements. You maybe a cannon and so much infantry and all this to conquer that area. So it has, if you played I mean not Eldritch Horror, Elder Sign, that's the name of it.
Elder Sign. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, it's one of it's similar game to that. A little more involved, a little more thematic, but just a good introduction. If you're a hardcore war gamer, you know, it's not going to be for you, but it's
Sure.
a heck of a lot of fun. I think you said they were spanning a Civil War, but those are just three introductory war games for American Revolution.
Nice, yeah, and so I don't have any. I'll talk a little bit about some of yours there because I kind of like what I see with a couple. I don't have any recommendations, guys. I'm still kind of I played a couple. I've talked about it before. Just a couple. Hidden Strike, American Revolution, which was not well received by most people, and I don't. It's really not that good of a game. Sorry, Maurice. But I did play it a ton because I wanted to like master it, see if I could beat it. But other than that, other than that game, I think I've messed around with. There was one from what was it? Can't remember. Was it a John Paninsky design maybe? So classic
Oh,
where like
Revolution Road.
yeah, yep, played that a little bit.
Yeah, I wasn't a huge fan of it, but yeah.
Yeah, didn't really click. So, topic's good. I just have not really dived into it as a war gamer. So, always looking to start. At some point, I'm going to dive right in. Just like when we get to Napoleonics, talk about that. I've yet to dive in, but at some point I will. But you met that one, the last one you mentioned from White Dog, or
Yeah.
not from Blue
Yeah.
Panther, or who is it from?
Oh, sorry, it's Blue Panther. It's not
Yeah,
White
Blue
Dog.
Panther. That's right. Road Independence. It looks interesting. I know it's not a solitaire design, but it's plays solitaire pretty well,
He'll
right?
play solitaire. No, there's
Yeah.
nothing hidden.
And I liked it, and it's funny you said the thing about like not being for hardcore war gamer. Well, you're a pretty hardcore war gamer, at least in the sense of look behind this guy. Look at his shelf behind old Judd here. He's got 10,000 war games. So you played your share of games, and you still find enjoyment and appreciation in a game like that too, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So as long as you're not saying like, okay, you're only going to play ASL,
Yeah.
absolutely, then fine. Yeah, then most of my games you'd probably laugh at and be like, oh, those are barely war games. Well, too bad. I enjoy them. They're
Hmm.
war themed, historical, all that good stuff. So I like that one. The one there. I'd like to find a good solitaire Civil War game
Yeah.
American Revolution game.
Hold the line's another one. There's no hidden information at all, and Tom can
Yeah,
vouch for this because he and I played almost every scenario from it this summer. But yeah, the thing about American Revolution, this is when I because this was that was my topic before I got back into wargaming in 2009. It's hard to find strategic level games. It's
yeah,
just a hard war because it was a political war, military means to a political end. And
yeah,
how do you make a game where like Green lost every battle in the South and won the South?
yeah.
Or how do you make somebody want to attack something that's completely useless strategically, but will get the people's spirits up? It's tough to do. So there's at least one, but I was trying different games back then, and I tried like
Hmm.
Avalon Hill 1776 for the campaigns, and it wasn't doing it for me. And I tried Give Me Liberty, and it wasn't doing. Plus the map was humongous and
Yeah.
140 turns or something. But yeah, when I hit hold the line, I'm like, yes, that's there it is. So
That's spot on. Yeah, and I love those kind of games like Hold the Line. Obviously, I like Memoir. I like and even the Great Battles of
mhm.
History, although they're not the exact, obviously not the same system. Those games where you buy a box and it's got 8 to 20 battles in it, right? So
Mhm.
it's like 20 different games in one, as opposed to just like here's one battle. You spent however much money and you have one battle to play. Same setup, everything's exact same. It's like that can get a little, you know what I mean? It
Yeah,
doesn't have that replayability,
that's
but
that's the thing with the GMT Battles of American Revolution. I used to have like 5 or 6 of them. I got rid of all but Saratoga. Um, System doesn't quite work for me. I think I've mentioned about how Monmouth, you can't even repeat what they did because the rules won't
yeah,
let you. But even when Saratoga, it's a game you play like twice and you got what you wanted out of it.
yeah,
Brandywine, I surprised the Americans with this flank attack, and then one of them I said, okay, George Washington has knowledge of it ahead of time. He prepared for it and he whooped him. Like,
yeah.
okay, I kind of saw what I wanted out of that game.
Like you
So they
got
didn't
it.
have a
Yeah.
problem with the single battles and the replayability.
Yep. Absolutely. Absolutely. All right. Well, let's go on to the next genre, American
Okay.
Civil War. This time I'll go first.
Yep.
American Civil War. Let's see. What would I recommend as an introductory, beginning style? This is gonna be a shocker. This is gonna be a shocker, everybody. I can't. No one's gonna be able to guess this one, right? No one. No idea this one's coming. In magnificent style, Pickett's Charge Deluxe Edition. Well, it's the only one that's in print. From the evil genius himself, Herman Lutman, and Deluxe Edition published by Worthington. So I've covered this. I think I talked about this game. I somehow squeeze this game in the topic every show we do. There's a couple of reasons for that though. For real, to be honest, I think it is a great design. I think it's got a great theme attached to the design. So the core system is very much push your luck. So it's kind of outside of wargaming, not a traditional wargaming system, in the sense of you are moving your units up the track and towards the Union position. So you play as a Confederates, right? Moving up towards Union position. You're doing Pickett's forlorn charge, like for whatever reason, the charge happened and you are trying to simulate it. You are going as far as you can. And if you're pushing that luck, and if you're not smart about it, or if you're just unlucky, your units are going to get pushed back, possibly all the way to the starting position. Slowly work your way up. But if you're too conservative, you're not going to make it far enough, and so you're going to lose anyway because your units can be stuck in the middle of no man's land, getting shot down with artillery and everything. So great production from Worthington, great design from Herm, and I think that this was one that the original edition that was published by Victory Point Games was actually one of my first ish war games, and it was one of the first American Civil War games. So it really helped get me into the American Civil War, the wargaming side of it, and interest in the actual into the conflict itself. So that's why I look at it as like it is. It may not be a smaller type introductory game. Some of these, well, a lot of them are big box games that I have. Like I said, these aren't these like $20 games. These are going to be full box games, but I think it's such a great introduction to American Civil War. It's easy to understand. If you played other board games, not war games yet, it's easy to get into. But even if you like war games, I think, unless, again, if you're a hardcore war gamer, yeah, you probably laugh at the system. But if you're someone who just wants to have some fun, but also really get a little bit of that theme and feeling of it, I think this is a great game for that. In magnificent style. Judd?
I had that on my list too. I just left it on the shelf because I was 99% sure you were going to talk about it.
Oh,
So
how'd you
I,
know?
I have all these stacks around me, so I was trying to minimize them. Okay, my first one, this covers the Civil War at the whole scale. A simple game, believe it or not, real simple. I think it's 4 pages of rules. Now, this is an older edition, A House
Ooh.
Divided. This game's from like 1981, and it stood the test of time. There are a few games like that, Rommel in the Desert, that have been around for 45 years, and they're still good.
Yep.
This is very, like I said, 4 page rules. It's a blast. It takes a little bit of time, 3.5 hours. So if you're like fresh out of Euro games and like, I like these 45 minutes, it might be a bit much for you, but it's not complicated at all. Does a pretty good job of covering the war. A lot of fun. It's now this is there was a, who is this, Phalanx, or yeah, Phalanx, and then there's a company, doggone, I forget their name. They're just almost like Phalanx, same type of
Hmm.
quality. They made it and had a picture of Lincoln on the front. It was a smaller box with a fold-out map. GMT's getting ready to do it. It's going to be more complicated. I don't know how much more, but
Okay.
but this game's been through many iterations. Probably find it. There's probably a zillion of them out there. You can grab them used, or wait for the GMT thing if you want, or you might even be able to find that last edition with Lincoln on the cover. But
Yeah.
great game, probably the best Civil War for the whole scale. I mean, you want a simple game, that's it. Next one I have is there's a whole bunch of games in the series. I'll show the two I have. Antietam by Worthington.
Yep.
I forget the
Yep.
name of the series it is. 8 pages of rules. It's almost like when they hit, I think this was the first game. They made a
Civil
second
War
that was,
Brigade Battle Series, I
yeah.
think is
Then
what it
they
is.
had they went after this to series rules and like 2 pages of specific rules for
Yeah.
that game.
Yep.
This wasn't my first. My first was, um, there it is. I
Judd's
like this one
busting
a
out the
little.
library for this show. You got them all. Oh,
The
you like that one?
7 days battles. And then they made one on Shiloh and I think Franklinburg and Gettysburg.
Franklin, 1864. I
Franklin, that's what
mentioned
I was
it
trying to find,
on
Franklinburg.
your list, on your geek list.
Yeah.
Judd has a, by the way, slight aside here. Judd has a really good geek list of his top games he's been playing for. Like, it's his annual list, so it's not just 2025 games, but top games he loves right now. And that's you had that series on there. I can't
Yeah.
remember what game you put,
Oh,
but
it's always the highest rated game out of it. Well, I got that formula for how
whatever.
recently I played
And
them.
I mentioned,
I
but I
think
mentioned
Antietam
the
might have hit higher because I played it more
okay.
recently.
But that Franklin 1864, I covered that on my channel. I had a lot of fun with that one. That
Yeah.
was a lot of fun. So good,
So
simple series. Yeah.
yeah. So good, simple series. You get one game, it's easy to get, and the other's what you like. This was my favorite. I was just more interested in the battle, but I always wanted a good Antietam game. I mean, there was some that were just kind of big. It's the deadliest day of the Civil War. I always
Yeah.
wanted to play one just Antietam. I had stuff like battle cry scenarios and stuff like that, but I just wanted a dedicated war game that kind of showed you the size of it. That did the job, and it did it simply. Um, if you go, Joshua, if you go to BGG on their main page where you see the stuff, go to Geek List and then hit Hot. I was number one for a long time this week, for like 3 or 4 days. I'm still probably way up there. It's airjudden's Top 100 2025. I should put a link on my profile page. I should do that. I got to update that. Anyways, sorry, I was looking at that note. Next one I had was this one is not in print, close to print, might cost some money, but I wanted to put it on there because if you can score a copy, and there should be a lot of them out there because it's been a while. Battle Cry. This is the 150th edition. It has 30 scenarios, I think, instead of 20. This was
Nice.
Richard Borg's first Command and Colors game. Complexity level is Memoir 44. 3 units, artillery,
I want to get that
cavalry,
sometime.
infantry.
I want to get a
Here's the
copy of
sad
that.
part. My friend Rob in 2020, he played all the scenarios probably multiple times knowing him. He got what he wanted. He's ready to move it on. He and I combine our games and get over on Facebook Consim Marketplace and sell them
Hmm.
together because, easier to do when you sell them en mass like that.
Yeah.
He ended up getting $20 for that game. And
Oh.
now you're probably paying $100 for that game.
Yeah.
I just tell people, well, you should have. But anyways, 30 scenarios. This was the first one. I really wasn't in the Civil War. I knew, Lee, Grant, Stonewall Jackson. I knew who won the war. I knew some names. Didn't know anything about Civil War. Didn't care about Civil War. My dad got me this game. I played all 30 scenarios. I was watching Ken Burns, reading books, Battle Cry of
Oh.
Freedom, all these other books. One point, I've probably had close to 60 Civil War games since then. I move them, trade them, all this stuff. But it's one of my most game topics. So Richard Borg's
Absolutely.
kind of like an introductory drug. Here, first one's on me. You seem like a nice guy, then you're hooked. It's
Yep.
like a drug
Yep.
dealer for topics. And
Yep.
let's see. So yeah, and then the other one I had was on Gettysburg itself. It's good introductory, especially if
I,
you're not real experienced in war games.
I picked one game for each topic. Judd's out here with the whole library.
Oh, sorry.
These are.
This
I
is
love
well,
it.
it's this big topic, so it's
It is. It is. It
yeah,
is.
Gettysburg, Mark Herman's game. It's this coming to
Yeah.
C3I episode
Yep.
issue 32. I checked last night; it's still available. They made a boxed edition; it's still available. I don't know how much longer. I don't know if they're clearing out their inventory. I don't know if they're going to shut that down because since Roger passed away. But
Yeah.
anyways, it's on Steam,
Yep.
so you can play against the artificial intelligence if you want. And the Steam sale's coming up Thursday. They're probably gonna have a really good deal on it. But anyways,
Totally.
it focuses more on maneuver. because it's not about taking the round tops, because that wasn't his
Yeah,
goal in that battle. His goal was to destroy the army and cut their line of supply. So it's really about hitting roads and cutting them off, or attrition. So it's a real simple game, and just a good system. I mean, usually I don't associate Mark Herman with the introductory games because he's the
yeah,
guy for the People and Empire of the Sun, stuff
yep,
like that. But yeah, he really nailed a good introductory game, and he knows what he's talking about. I mean, people are like, rah, rah, rah. I was like, dude, the guy served on like the board of
yeah,
Gettysburg National
yeah.
Historical Park. He knows his stuff.
That game and that system, and I think they labeled it now like the Civil War Heritage System or something like that. And by the way, Mark Herman, for whatever reason, we're blessed, occasionally does stop by. I haven't seen him in the chat yet, but sometimes he comes by the show. He watches. So if you're watching this, my apologies, sir. But that series for me as a solitaire series, I just haven't enjoyed it. I've tried it a couple times. I haven't dove into it deep, but I think because of its focus on maneuver and not combat, it's a little harder for me to solitaire because it's just sort of the like, that feint
Hmm.
maneuver, feint the kind of it's like when I'm playing solitaire, I'm not saying I can't do maneuvering in with armies and such. But for whatever reason with that, it's just like I kind of just feel like as a solitaire game, I don't know. But like you said, it's on so Gettysburg's on Steam, Rebel Fury's on Steam, which is the other release out, and then Army Potomac's coming. I assume that'll probably be on Steam eventually as well.
Yeah,
So,
I had a
but
little problem with the artillery duels solo, but when I went to
yeah,
Steam,
because
it
that's
does.
also like a random or not random, but a
Yeah, yeah.
hidden.
You
But
have
you
to
can do it
determine if
random.
you're going to use it and try
Yeah,
to for the die roll modifier, and you only have so many of them. But the
I think the system is not. It's not super solitaire friendly. I'll say just be honest. It's solitaire capable in the sense of if you, but it's not even just like a like we talked about the Civil War Brigade battle series there from Worthington. I mean that's a
Mhm.
hex encounter, but it's just like I go you go style,
Yeah,
and you do it solitaire. The Gettysburg, that Civil War Heritage series from Mark Herman, it's a little bit step in the harder direction to solitaire because of the maneuvering aspect to it, and then the hidden
yeah.
artillery aspects. That's why
But
it's like for me hasn't clicked, but
I
just keep that in
enjoyed it a
mind.
lot more when I got it on Steam, just because I could
Yeah,
play. Now, if I played
yeah,
somebody, that's fine. But I'd had to play a lot of stuff solo. And with
yep,
Steam, you can play email, online, go back and
yeah.
forth, straight up, but play the AI. And it was a lot more fun. And the rules are all there. It enforces the rules.
Yeah.
And the cool thing was when I got that on Steam, I think they had a deal where you could buy that, Waterloo, and the his Civil War. What's the first battle of the Civil War? I'm totally blanking. Where
Oh,
they
Bull Run.
shelled the bay, huh?
Fort Sumter.
Sumter, thank you. I was thinking
Sumter.
Charleston was okay. Yeah, Fort
Yeah.
Sumter. Yeah, Fort
Isn't
Sumter.
that not a war game though? That's
I'm not going there. But
yeah.
anyways,
I,
he had all three of them for like
I think he
12.
said it's not a war game. That's like there's another. What's his political one that he said is like he's not a war game.
Oh,
Like I'll be honest.
I thought it was funny. He put right on the box, Churchill is not a war game. And then
Yeah, it's like
it won the
not. This isn't a
BGG
war
war
game.
game. I was like, so of course the
Just a
joke
quick,
is it's not really a war until Mark Herman makes a game on it. Um,
quick
so
little,
there you
yeah,
go,
quick
five
little
bucks
hello
on
to a
Steam.
bunch of people.
So yeah, it's a
Um,
great deal. So I mean, that was my other one. So
Absolutely. A couple little
so that's
hellos, and then I got to cut Judd off because he's gonna keep talking
yeah,
about
that's it.
American
That's
Civil
all I have
War.
on Civil War.
Is that? Are you
That
sure?
that's
Are
my
you
big.
sure?
Well, World War II, I got a decent amount, but
Oh God. All right. Remember, Judd, we got 30 more
I
minutes.
know
So you
that's what I'm
got
trying to cover fast. We're 9:30.
if you got a couple, I want you to talk about your games, but you've got to cut a couple. Do what you got
Yeah,
to do. All right.
most of mine are
Kilroy,
two or
hello,
three.
Wayne. It's been a minute. It has been. I guess your ban must have expired by now. So good to see you, buddy. Hi guys, good one. Hey, how you doing? How you doing? Some of these guys, a lot of them I see on my channel a lot, commenting on my videos. Oh, and then Josh, yeah, we already covered that. I sent a link, and then you said I think you found it. Um, $15 on or $5 on Steam. Which one was that? The
Gettysburg.
Gettysburg or
Yeah, and they're
which?
getting
Yeah,
ready
and
to have
then
their sale Thursday, so they might have a whole
wait,
bundle of
wait
Mark
till
Herman
Thursday.
games.
Wait till the sale. Oh, Jerry from a Cardboard Commander. Good evening. How you doing? How you doing? All
Oh, the other
right.
thing I was going to say, I think
Oh
it's over
boy.
the Worthington sale. They
Yeah.
had 7 days battles for $20.
I saw that. I was gonna even say that, but is there a sale over now?
I
Maybe.
think it is.
Probably. Probably.
If you can wait a
But
year, or I don't know, maybe they had some. But
wait a
anyways,
year. Oh no. Or yeah, who knows? Well, they had sale for that cheap. Maybe some copies will pop up on Board Game Geek or wherever for cheap too. So, but all right. So we've covered two topics. We'll go on. World War One. I kind of offhanded mentioned this. I don't have actually a World War One game to mention. I
Oh,
had
really?
I had been playing because World War One is a topic I've started diving into. So I have two games. One game I just covered from Hexasim and Herman Lutman, just covered it on my channel. And then there's another one that Hexasim is going to send me. It's their like grand strategic World War One game, but I haven't played it yet, so I'm not gonna recommend that. And Herm's game, I don't know if I'd really recommend it as a first timer game. Um, so yeah, for World War One, I don't really have any recommendations. Judd, you got any?
No. I
No.
mean,
All
I
right, that's cool.
Paths of Glory. I mean, I got stuff like Paths of Glory. I got old
Yeah.
19 early 80s airplane games, Dawn Patrol, stuff like that. Kaiser Krieg. They're not introductory. It's just not.
No,
It's
no.
not a topic I'm huge into. Just a little. I dabble in it. So
Yeah, yeah. The 12th battle, Caporetto campaign 1917. That's the one that I've covered on my channel. I wouldn't call it introductory necessarily. Although for me, although I'll say this kind of for me because I don't cover a lot of um, World War One games. It kind of was one of an introductory for me, but it definitely took a little while to grok and get into it and really get the flow. But it is a solitaire game, and it's a really, really good game. Check out my videos on that. But all right, moving on then. So now we'll cover World War Two. Judd, do you want to go first? Or you want me to go
I'll let
first?
you go first in
All
case
right.
we double up.
But I doubt it on this in this case. And I only have one game that I'm going to cover. So well, I'll cover my one, and then Judd will cover his 10. My
6.
one I'm going to cover. So I have the locker here. Oh, everybody, hang on, tight my back. So Warfighter. Here is the Foot Locker. So Warfighter. So there now. There's modern. There's World War II, World War II European theater, World War II Pacific. There's Vietnam. There's Couture, which is science fiction, and there's more in the works. I don't know. And there's North Africa, I think. Yeah, there's a whole bunch of topics. I'm gonna pick World War II. Introductory. So that's what I'm looking at, right? Introductory game. If I want to recommend to somebody, now I'm not. You don't buy it the Foot Locker. Foot Locker. This thing is just holding like 4 Warfighter games in it. Oh, it's getting heavy. I gotta set it down. But thing about Warfighter is, it's an action movie. That's a game. It is. That's a card game. It's not simple. I wouldn't call it simple or easy. But it's also not a great simulation. And it's like, oh, that's kind of a. I don't know if it's that a good combo. But here's the deal. Once you learn it and once you feel comfortable with it, it is a lot of fun because you are outfitting your squad of soldiers with equipment. Sometimes they'll come with some, sometimes they won't. You're going to have hands of your action cards you can use, and you're going to be working your way through different missions. You're going after enemies, either trying to hold them off, you're trying to capture a base, trying to go rescue some hostages. There's all kinds of different types of missions you go on. You're using your equipment, you're throwing grenades, you're shooting off bazookas, shooting machine guns, you're rolling lots of dice. Like I said, it's like an action movie in a game. It spreads out quite a bit, sometimes a little too much for me. If we have a lot of squad members, it can get a little much with all the cards. But at the same time, it's just basically a card game on a board that really is abstracted. Um, yeah, it's a blast. I have a lot of fun with it. It's a warfighter, and again, I'm recommending it World War II because I think World War II, European theater or Pacific or North Africa, you can kind of pick the topic you want. They're all really good. And Warfighter, once you know the system, you can jump into all these different genres and eras, and you can play. So I highly recommend checking out Warfighter. I think pretty much everybody who probably watches this video probably already has either checked it out or has it or either knows whether they like it or not. But that's my recommendation.
Okay. Um, when we did Ham Tag, our overall just introductory, all three of us had the same number one.
Yep,
I
yep.
figure
So
everybody's probably heard of the game. It's far from simulation,
I
but
didn't
if
want to
you
say it. I got it clearly. I've talked about it already. I didn't want to mention it. Memoir 44. Not in a bad way. Just I was like, I'm gonna do something a little different. Because I knew Judd wasn't gonna do any DVG games, so I was like, I'm
I
gonna
might
talk
shock
about
you
Warfighter. What's that?
later on, might shock you later on.
Oh, oh,
But yeah,
ooh.
it's a great introduction to war games. If you haven't played, um, if you haven't, everybody says, "Oh, pick this Command and Colors topic." No, it don't work that way. There's really two introductory Command and Colors games: Memoir and Battle Cry. The others are quite a bit up in complexity. Um, but anyways, great system. If you dig it, there's a zillion expansions. You can take it any number of ways. It's a great way to get your feet wet. And look, I'm playing 2 games online right now. It's a fun game. It's not the most realistic, but it's a fun game. And
Yeah.
it's got the cool plastic soldiers. Who can't dig that?
I
Okay.
love that. I told you that was one of the games that got me into wargaming in general.
Yeah.
Was Memoir 44. That was the very first game I remember solitaire playing. That is not a solitaire game.
Next one, we talked about it during the last one, so I'll cover briefly. I have
Ooh,
Tarawa. There's Iwo Jima also. The Wayne has
yep.
great simple game. It's solos. For it is a solo game
Yep. It is a
for
solo game. Yep.
for conquering the islands. If you want to do island warfare in World War II, so we covered it. If you want to see more on that, people tend to love paratroopers. Not just me, obsessed with the 82nd Airborne. So this
Oh yeah.
82nd's not in this one.
Yep.
And yeah, there's lots of market garden games. Not a lot of in print ones that are introductory, but this is a pretty good one. It was Drop Zone. It's from Operation Dragoon, the southern invasion of France. Dan Forney, real simple game. I think 8 pages of rules or something. Real simple, plays fast. Solo's pretty good. Anyways, pretty good game with your paratroopers.
I want to get my hands on that one at some point
Yeah,
for
should have
sure.
got on the sale, man. They had it on there.
I should have. Dang it.
This next one, this is for the Eastern Front.
Ooh.
Hold Fast. Now this one is out of print. They changed it to Hold Fast East Front,
Yep.
which
Yep.
takes the whole simple system
Oh,
to the
oh
entire
there.
war.
Yep.
I don't know if it's in print. It ought to be pretty easy to get. Plus, I figured all the guys who got the second one probably sold off this one, so you can grab them.
Yeah.
Um, this game, seriously, it said it takes 5 minutes to teach. If you're a little slower to teach, 10 minutes. I mean, I have taught this game to people, and it never takes more than 10 minutes to teach. You're off and playing. How
Yep.
much more simple. And Marco commented on his thing is it's amazing how like they took the essence where if you pulled like one more rule out, it just doesn't feel like East Front, but they got it in there. They got the mud, they got the snow, they got the encirclements. It's amazing how much East Front they packed into such a tiny game. Then these two they have newer versions of what I have. This is especially good for people who haven't really played war games want an introduction. This is my 2010 version,
Uh-huh.
Tank on Tank. They have since in like 2015, Lock and Load got new
On Steam
ownership,
too.
and they make way better components. Then
Yeah.
now they call it Tank on Tank East Front, West Front, basically the same game. Do you want to fight with Shermans or T-34s? Fun little game. The main mechanic is taken from Martin Wallace's Waterloo. So hey, if you come from a Euro game background, Martin Wallace got street cred. Fun
Mm,
game, 30 minutes to play. It'll solo too. Believe it or not, it solos. They have solo rules and they work. Fun
oh,
little
interesting.
game. You
All
can
right.
probably get a much newer version that looks nicer. And the last one I
And
had,
on Steam.
yeah, the last one I
Tank
had.
on
This is a
Tank.
pretty groovy little game. It's also by Lock and Load and has a newer version of the on the with the new ownership. Toten Sontag from the North Africa, where they're trying to
Okay.
relieve Tobruk. Crazy little system for how you roll a die, and it's like how many units you can activate and what they move. The more units you can the more they move, the less you can activate. It's just really, really groovy. Kind of
Good
one of
little
those
balance.
gitchy, cool mechanics, but fun little game. I've,
Cool.
and they even have a vassal module for it. So,
Hey,
anyways,
World War
those are what I
Two.
got for World War II.
There, I mean, we could have and we probably will at some point have a World War II show and just talk
Yeah,
about World War II games easily, very easily. Um, Cardboard Commander, old Jerry, you got a few. You've recommended a bunch. I see one, two, three, four that are from Compass Games. I don't talk about Compass games on my channel.
I do, but he doesn't.
yeah.
That one
I let
cracked me
Judd
up. Death in
carry
the
that.
Trenches. Death in the Trenches is a freaking beast. I
Uh,
the the type is so small on that I could have. I sat my daughter at the chair and I said, "Is it just because I'm old?" And she goes, "I can't read that." I said, "Okay, good. I got rid of it."
yeah. Um, and then
Okay, now there are other games that I might have under different topics. Hint, hint. What you just said.
yeah,
Okay,
we'll dive into the other stuff.
okay.
Worthington 44 series, that's a good series.
Yeah, I haven't played that one.
Yeah,
Okay,
interesting. Okay, all right. So what else we talk? So what do we got? So World War II, we're wrapped up with that. Napoleonics.
Napoleonics.
Oh, this is
Okay,
all Judd.
2 games. I don't have either one of them. I mean, one of them I have loaned out. The
Okay,
first one's called Maneuver by GMT. That's more for the people who have never played a war game and want to get into something.
heard of it. Yep.
Different decks, a square grid board, generic, but there are different specialized decks for Prussia, Austria, England, and your armies go at it.
Yep.
Kind of chess-like. Some,
Okay.
a lot of war gamers think, I don't care for, and it's not really great realistic tactics, but it's fun war. I mean, it's fun game introductory. So I do have a few of those where if you never played a war game and want to try something. The other one I have loaned out, it's Mark Herman's Waterloo. It's like Gettysburg, a little different rule for the headquarters, and also there's some detachments.
Okay.
Um, but I got it loaned out. I'm playing it on Steam because I'm getting my appetite all wet for Rebel Fury because I know it
Yep.
has detachments. So I thought, well, let's see what it has because I haven't played Rebel Fury yet.
Rebel
So,
Fury right there. All
yep,
right.
and you'll be able, and like I said, you can get on Steam probably
On
Thursday.
Steam.
You'll get them for a great deal.
Yep.
But it covers the 100 days campaign. That's the thing. It's not just Waterloo, and I can't pronounce French, so go ahead and laugh. I call them Quatre Bras, Ligny, and Harver, like Brett Favre or whatever. I can't say them. Waterloo's
Hey,
the only
Brett
one I can
Favre.
say. So that's why I call it Harv. I don't know how to pronounce them, but it's all four of those. So it's the 100 days campaign in there, and you don't have to go the route that Napoleon went.
Yeah.
That's the cool thing. It gives you options. So those are my
Very
two.
nice. All right. All right. Okay. And then like I said, I have nothing for Napoleonics. Haven't dove into it yet. I'm thinking about it. There's a couple games I've been looking at. I got one up here, Close Quarter Battles, Waterloo from Black and Load Publishing. We'll see if I bust it out and start playing it. All right. So, Ancients. Ooh.
I have two.
How many you have?
Two.
You have two. Gosh. One of these could go for
I
two
guess technically
different.
I could have picked Caesar Solitaire by Kershaw, but I didn't. I
So
forgot
I'll go
about it.
first.
Okay.
Solitaire Seizure by Caesar by
There you
David
go.
Kershaw. So okay. So here's
It's
the deal about this
I
one.
I thought about it early in the week, and I just forgot
Yep.
about it. I have a
Here's
print and
the,
play version. That's why.
I love Ancients. I have so many games Ancients that I could recommend. Again, this is definitely another topic that we could have for a show that I could spend an hour plus talking about. Not much longer. Solitaire Seizure though. Let's talk about this one as a recommendation. Introductory. Now this is what I call. I will say with the system, and I like David Kershaw as a designer, and he's got some little bit deeper, nothing super deep, but a little bit deeper games. This one is a very very light game. This is I had a term I thought I came up with myself, but I don't know, maybe someone else said it was roll and react. So basically, you're gonna roll some dice, and you're just gonna have to react to what happens. There's no real strategy, but you know what? I'll tell you this: the map is, first of all, the map is surprisingly good looking. I think it's simple, but it's surprisingly good looking. Counters are simple but good looking as well. It plays super super quick. So you're getting the full sort of Roman Empire experience, very abstracted, but super super quick playing, super small footprint on your table. You're gonna roll some dice. You're gonna move some legions around. You're gonna battle some barbarians. There's gonna be more and more barbarians. And next thing you know, they're gonna come around here and they're gonna sack Rome, and then you're gonna lose the game. And you're gonna be pissed. But nice thing is, because it is so easy to set up, quick to play, easy to play. I mean, I don't even know how many rules, what the pages of rules, but probably only a handful. 8-page rule book. I don't even know if it feels like 8 pages of rules. It feels like a 4-page rule book game in my opinion. So, really recommend this for introductory. And this would be some I'd recommend to somebody who's never played a war game either. So, you want something super light and easy, beer and pretzel style game. Solitaire Caesar from White Dog and David Kershaw. All right, that's
Okay.
my one. Go ahead.
Now here's my one DVG game. I don't own it,
Ooh,
but I thought it was good. You might have it. Field Commander Alexander.
Alexander. Yes. Yep.
I have played
Absolutely.
well, I didn't play Nimitz, but I got the original three, Rommel and Napoleon, and that I liked it far and away better than the others.
Yeah.
Um, Solitaire game.
Yep.
It gives you different campaigns of Alexander, and kind of a fun little system. I played through all the snares, got all I wanted, and was like, okay, I got what I wanted, moved it on. But it was a fun game. I'd gladly play it again if I ran into it. The next one, a little controversial, but I'm saying it's not it's not for beginners who come from the Euro game world, and that is in the Great Battles of History series. And if you get the
Introductory.
well, I'll talk about it here in a second. If you
Oh,
want an
come
introduction
on.
into Great Battles, now let me say this: with the simple Great Battle system.
Would you, Judd?
Wait,
You're playing little word games on me right here. I don't
no,
know about this. I specific look at all these Great Battles history games. I specifically avoided them because I'm like, those are not introductory for anybody at any
yeah,
level.
but here it is. But I would say it's more. This is crazy. This will be controversial. I think it's more introductory than Command and Colors Ancients. I think it's easier to
Ooh,
grasp.
interesting.
Yeah,
Okay.
and I'll talk about that in a second because
Okay.
I've always
Well,
disagreed with people say it's an introductory
go
game.
ahead. You go
Now
ahead.
that now the way this works, because I didn't
Yeah.
understand it, simple Great Battles of History, strip out, makes your games about 40% shorter. It simplifies the route rules, cuts out a
Mhm.
few things. Your guys with spears aren't going to run out of spears, where the other one does.
Yep.
Okay, This one rule book works on like seven, I think it was originally six, seven games. SPQR, Alexander, Caesar, Devil's Horseman, stuff like that. It's nice, one rule book to rule them all. That's what a lot of people like about it. I think it's a 16-page rule book, and
Yep.
this is a scenario, if you have the old ones, how to set it up for this. Now, if you're looking, Joel Toppin said this, and I tend to agree with him. The one to get into the system is Cataphract. It's easier. SPQR's got a little more, even with simple, has a little more
Mhm.
complicated command rules. Um, Alexander has the double size phalanx, which is a little trickier on how you move them. These are just one hex pieces, a lot easier to deal with, lots of cavalry. So this is one Tom and I started on. It's pretty easy. And then we moved to the others. So if you want an introduction to the system, I'd say Cataphract with the simple rules. Now, if you play it and you really dig this stuff, try the regular rules. That's how Mark Herman intended it. I think the simple's more
And
Berg.
Richard Berg.
Yeah. Oh, Mark started it with Alexander all by himself, and then Richard jumped on board, and they started doing these other games together.
Are you sure? Because it
Yeah,
seems the system
yeah.
seems just like
Go
a.
look at the original Alexander game, the
Well,
first
that's like
edition.
Richard Berg's like tactical system, right? With shock combat. That's like his thing. He does.
Yeah,
Is it?
but I think he got influenced by Mark Herman. I haven't played the original Alexander to know what it is, but I mean what how it differs. But anyway, the I know the simple rules are more Berg than Mark because Mark's always loves the original the way as he intended. And this year I did try Alexander. I played it both ways. It's fun. It's different. Some people have preference for one, some do the other.
Simple's good, guys. Don't worry. You can
But
try.
if you want to get into the system,
You're not.
try the
You're only
simple
missing some
rules.
complexity. You're
Try the
missing
simple
some
rules
fun,
with
but
this, and it's the
yeah.
best place to start. And then if you like it, go elsewhere. Now,
Yep.
the reason I say Command and Colors Ancients is not a
I'm doing
good
research.
introductory game, people say, "Oh, it's just like Memoir." No, it's not. I was an experienced Memoir player. Rob taught that to me. We played the first scenario. It's Syracuse versus Carthage. He gave me Syracuse. They should destroy them. He trounced me. I mean, I was confused. All these, because in Memoir, there's one infantry unit. In this one,
Mhm.
there's like six different infantry units. They roll different number of dice. Some can evade, some can. Battle backs, cavalry get their momentum bonus. There's just an awful lot to wrap your mind around. And it's like, if you're not thinking, you're trying to solo this things, like you forget that, oh, this guy's had support. He could battle back. There's rules when you have a leader attached or adjacent. And there's an awful lot of stuff that changes it greatly from Memoir. So I was like, yeah, Napoleonics, Memoir, Tricorn. That's why I didn't put it in there. I love Tricorn, but it is not an introduction. It's the most complicated of all of them because it's got all these dice formulas. So I don't think any of them. Now, if you're a war gamer, jump into it. Yeah, you'll get it. But if you're coming from a background now, Battle Cry and Memoir is the two to go for.
All right.
So,
All right.
and I really,
Okay.
when I thought about it, go, wow, really, I think I had a lot easier time grasping simple, great battles of history. Plus, the rule book's shorter
Yeah.
um, than the other one. So, and
Yeah.
that's my take.
I
That's
play
my hot
simple.
take.
I play simple with mine, but that's
Yeah,
easy.
I
Play
mean,
whatever you want.
it's good either way.
It's a nice thing. You got it. You got the regular rules in the box. You buy the simple packet, which is super cheap, it's like $20, and you got either one you want. So,
Yeah,
um,
it's like two games in one.
we got some interesting comments, but we don't really have enough time, guys. We have like 10 minutes left, and I gotta
Okay.
get going. So, unfortunately, it's these comments. Tim saying lower complexity games. How do you guys take on tougher rule sets? Read, set up and test play, like kind of pretend play, and then by like the second or third, try to play through a whole game. I know
Watch the
that's the simple
videos.
version.
Watch playthrough videos.
Yeah, wait for
Wayne
me to
Wayne
do a
has helped me
playthrough video.
many times. Callendale helps me on some really complicated games. Ben Harsh made great ones for Empire of the Sun. Okay, what's our next topic?
Oh, yeah, next
Block.
topic here. Let's we got one, two, three, four. Oh, four topics. Well, we're not gonna make through all of them, but let's look at next one will be block games. That's on you, buddy. I got
Okay,
no. Oh no, I got one recommendation. I'm gonna say
go
mine
for it.
quick, and then let Judd jump in. So I don't have a ton of experience with block games, and definitely not in an opposed setting. Right, I'm a solitaire gamer, but I will say, and this picture on Board Game Geek is actually from me, but it's combat infantry West Front here. So
Okay.
this is one that I had played. The cool thing about this, so from Columbia Games, is and the map. I really like the look of the map there too. You guys go check it out. Combat Infantry West Front. So this one, what I like about it is it actually in the rules for solitaire, and it's a block game, so you just show you could look at it's solitaire. You look at them all, but you can actually do like a chit draw, a block draw. So you put the actual headquarters units in a big cup, and you're drawing the blocks, and that's who you're activating. You know what I mean? You have each of them under that authority to activate and everything. So it actually works pretty well. And it's funny thing is, I mean, it's tactical-ish. It's not really like super small tactical. It's a little bit bigger scale than that. But I had a lot of fun with it. I covered it. I believe I covered it on my channel, but although it would have been a while ago, so I'm sure the video quality is not so great. Oh well. But I did it. I did enjoy it. I don't have a copy anymore. I wouldn't mind getting one and maybe getting back into it a little bit. But yeah, Combat Infantry West Front from Columbia Games. So I played a few other ones. We talked, Judd, you had mentioned like the Hold Fast, East Front.
It's not a good introduction to block games because it's a unique system. But
yeah,
yeah. So
I had Hold Fast East Front, and I like that one, but I don't have it anymore. So I got rid of most of my block games. But
okay.
Anyway, you go ahead.
Okay, so I got 3. Julius Caesar. This is okay. Hammer of the Scots, one of the most revolutionary block games ever. Created a whole family, like 8 games that use them. There are 2 I recommend in it. I no longer have Hammer of the Scots. If you're into William Wallace and the Scotland thing, it's a good game. And Julius Caesar. This doubles as another introductory game. I just wanted to cover it under this one instead.
Was that signed or something?
Yeah, Grant Douglas signed it for me at BGG.
All hail.
Yeah.
Emperor Judd.
Yeah.
I love it.
So, anyways, super game. 8 pages of rules. You know these games are almost all like, but a lot of them have problems. Crusaders, Rex. I'm not going to go into it.
Yeah.
Those 2 are really clean. Okay. The other one I had, Napoleon. This game's been around since the early 70s. This is the 4th edition. I will warn you, these games hold their value. You're probably going to pay $70 for it. It's hard to get them used, and when you do, they don't hardly mark them down. But great game. Also covers the 100 Days War. Also a Napoleonic introductory game. So that's what I had for block. They get you into the Columbia system. That's different from the Hammer of the Scots ones.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Okay.
All right. So area impulse. Judd, I'll go first here.
Okay.
Area impulse. So I have 2. I have a solitaire specific, and then one that is 2-player, although it's very solitaire friendly. And the designer said he was going to do a solitaire system, and he asked me if I wanted to play test it, and I was like, nah, I don't play test games anymore. But anyway, so the one that is going to be solitaire, dun, 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 which has the very sexy name of Solitaire Area Movement Series, which I've, from the very beginning with the first one, Stalingrad, I was like, can you guys not use that name? And it is what it is. So we get Sam's. Sam's is the name of the system. But Manila, Savage Streets, I think way better than Stalingrad. Stalingrad has a more popular theme, of course. Yep, of course, Judd's got it there. But it is, it's solitaire. It's area movement, but it's actually solitaire directed. Manila fine-tunes the system a bit with a lot of the criticisms that myself and other reviewers had on Stalingrad. Actually, Manila, you have a somewhat reactive enemy, as it historically should have been. Even in these types of battles, the enemy did launch counterattacks. So in Stalingrad, you didn't have any of that. Manila, you do get that. You also get the keeping track of attack values and defense values. You have chits for that. Very nice to have that on the board. And then the topic. Stalingrad obviously is a super popular topic with a lot of people, and I'm not saying I'm not into it because I am. I played plenty of solitaire games or Stalingrad games, excuse me. But something about Manila, even though I don't have a lot of games on it, really kind of got into the history of it and kind of seeing that just the U.S. versus Japanese, the Pacific Theater, and seeing there was a lot more civilian involved, civilian casualties in Manila, the fight for Manila, than there was for the fight for Stalingrad. So this is my solitaire recommendation. And super simple system, easy to learn. A little heavier and not solitaire 2-player, but I really, really enjoyed it. Storm over Jerusalem, Roman Siege from, what was it again? Scott Blanton, and then MMP. So this is one that is, again, it's Ancients. So I love Ancients. I love my Romans. And really fun, really easy. Once you're rolling with the rules, I think it's actually not a difficult game. A little crunchier than Manila. But Scott Blanton did say he would have a solitaire system that he was working on. It hasn't seen light of day. I don't think it's going to unless I asked him, I was like, well, how about you just kind of release it as is. He said something about MMP's permission, so I don't know what's going on there. But yeah, I think we're going to be stuck with the regular rules. But even the regular 2-player rules, I definitely recommend Storm over Jerusalem. So.
That's good to know. I was not a fan of Storm over Stalingrad. The fact my German bomber group can get taken out by a sniper, that lost it for me. But
Yeah, no, this one is it fits. I mean, it
yeah,
seems fits pretty well with the theme and the history. So
I basically had the two Ranella games on there that you mentioned. I said either one, whatever topic,
yeah.
Stalingrad. That the third one I had. This is two-player
Ooh, yeah.
Operation Battle Axe,
I
Mike
think I covered that
Ranella.
on my channel too. Yeah.
Yeah, great. This has always been my favorite of those original three made Aishima and Patton's Vanguard. 4-turn game. I mean that's the basic game. There's a longer one, and it plays fast. Rules are really slick. And this sucker's on the Revolution just got their sale going last night. So this thing's for like $20 on Revolution.
Nice.
So and if you prefer Patton's Vanguard, it's on there too. The others.
Yep.
So but anyways, great game. Some people don't like folio. I like it because it keeps
Eh.
shipping down, keeps it cheap and easy to store. So
Yeah.
that's what I had.
Very
Okay.
nice. All right. And I know
And
see Josh mentions let's see. The Sam's the Sam series here. Sam series. Volume 3 Berlin game went on pre-sale yesterday on Revolution website. Yep. I don't know if I'm gonna be getting it just because with the first two I played the crap out of them. And I don't know what difference Berlin's gonna bring to the system. The system is fairly similar, so it's a theme thing. And there's something about the fall of Berlin. I mean, talk about a hopeless cause. At least Stalingrad. I mean, it could have went either way. I guess Manila's the same way. I mean, the Japanese had no hope of holding out against the Americans. Um, but yeah, something about fall of Berlin. It's like, yeah, of course Berlin was going to lose. You had 60,000 Volkstrom Germans, war weary Germans versus I think it was 1 point. I was reading because I was actually just reading a book about it. 1.2 million Soviet soldiers. Yeah, good luck to the Germans. But anyway, not to disparage it. Judd, what do you got?
okay, card driven games.
Yes,
Okay,
card driven
this is
games.
gonna be a little weird. This is not from your Eurogamer stand. You're a war gamer and you want to try card driven games. The one I would say, and you're like, well, you're gonna say, why don't you pick this other one? Washington's War. So I think the
Ooh,
sucker's always in print. Now
okay.
you might be saying, why not Twilight Struggle? I'm not going to go in. Is it a war game or is it not?
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
tired of that
Yep.
stuff. But what I'm saying is, if you play Twilight Struggle and you play it well, and you said, okay, I'm ready to go try For the People, it's a whole different game. You're not going
Yeah.
to recognize. There's no space race and stuff like that. I prefer Labyrinth by Volko Ruhnke, but that's the same thing. It's not like the others. This is a good introduction. If you learn this game, and there's lots of players. I mean, it's on Rally the Troops that will enforce the rules for you. But if you learn this game, you will have a good understanding of lots of stuff in Unhappy King Charles, Wilderness War, Hannibal. You'll understand some of the concepts in For the People. Um, so you'll understand even when you jump to some of the other games, you're going to start to recognize some of the card-driven game concepts. You can go into a whole Paths of Glory; it's a whole different offshoot. It's neither one's going to get you ready for Empire of the Sun, probably the one on the Russian Revolution. That other,
Hmm.
but this will get you a good foundation to get into the rest of them. It also happens to be my favorite game of all time.
Yeah.
But
Well, that'll do
but
it.
anyways, this is Mark Herman. It's a redoing of We the People, and he invented the card-driven game system. And some people are like, what about Coin? Coin's not card-driven. It has cards just because the game has cards, not card-driven.
Yeah.
And when you play this, you'll understand what card-driven's about. So that's the one I recommend. And card-driven games are a bit up more on complexity. This is probably the most complex game I have on the whole list. And it's not complex, but it's card-driven games are a step up.
Yeah, absolutely. And I don't. We talked about this a little bit pre stream. Card driven. I just don't have. I'm not against it at all. I played a couple. Hidden Strike, American Revolution, definitely card driven, but definitely not a very popular game, and really probably not a good game. Even though I played it a ton back when I had it. But I just don't have. And Washington's Warless. I've actually owned a couple over time, and then I always look at it and I say, is this a solitaire game? Do I want to get into this? How well is this going to work? Seems like there's a lot of stuff in play, and then I end up just kind of leave it on the shelf, and then I move on. But not that but I don't have the experience to either say I don't like it either. I just haven't found the right one maybe to really get into it. So maybe that topic, who knows? But all right,
Hey,
what
we
else we
covered
got?
them all. Look at
That's
that.
everything. Yeah, that's everything. So um, there we go. Whew. Break a sweat here. Judd, you covered about 10 times as many games as I did, but you know what? Some of them sounded pretty good to me. So I'm definitely interested in a couple of those. I know you guys, we got to wrap up here in just a couple. I can give you a couple minutes more. Anything you guys want to cover quick? Any recommendations you guys had on any of the topics? I know you guys have been jumping in. We haven't covered a ton of your comments because kind of a little bit of a time crunch here, but we finished up, and I like I said, I got a few minutes left. So let's see what is
Yeah, put them in the comments section below too, because we got introductory from the comments on one of the early videos.
yeah. So when we were done with the video here and we wrapped it up, and so not just the live chat, but actual once the video is no longer live, go to the comments, enter in anything you got in the comments. But what was that again? What was let's see, Christoph gonna buy Berlin for sure. Been in a lot of it's a fun city with much history. Hopefully not. Hopefully weren't there in 45 though. And then Corporate Commander excited for Berlin. I'm sure there'll be some major changes. The Sam series games are tough to beat. They're really good. I I'm gonna challenge you a little bit, Cardboard Commander Jerry. I'm gonna challenge you a little bit. Major challenges, yes, but what are there going to be any major changes to the system? Because there's something about playing the same system, even with different theme. If it's really similar at a certain point, I know I anyway, and everyone's different. I get a little like, okay, it's the same exact system, or very, very, very similar, right? So with the SAM system, I mean, you're activating an area, you're moving your units into another area, and you're hoping you have a higher combat modifier DRMs, and then rolling against it. And then you move into there, you reveal the chit, and it shows a whatever, and there's like an event that happens based on that chit. It's kind of the core of the system. And again, I mean, don't get me wrong, it's been blast, super popular, super easy to play. Games look good. Revolution's knocked it out of the park with them. It's also, I think, their first games with mounted boards and all that. So it's really been a hit, I think, with people that wouldn't necessarily play war games or as many war games. But I worry that as we get into these, more and more games now we're on the third plus game. Are we kind of looking at the exact same system? They're just pasting on a different map. I don't know. I can't say for sure. So
It might be like State of Siege, because some people can say, they're all the same. They all got
it's
tracks
true.
that go to the middle,
That's
but
true.
yet,
Oh,
um,
I love
you've
safe.
seen all
Yeah,
the different ways Ben Madison took them from other games.
and he's
Um,
yep, yep,
so I don't know if this other designer will have some new ideas. I had one of those ideas bouncing around my head and started dinking around with it, but I'm slow to do anything. Is a
yeah,
Vietnam themed one, but
yeah.
anyways, I had some different ideas. And then my friend Dan, who did Hands in the Sea, he has a tremendous idea for one of those games, and
Yeah.
I hope he does it. Not I don't want to say, hey, I'll do it if you don't want to do it. But anyways, he's got some cool ideas that'll be still you're gonna have that same core, but
Yeah,
there'll be enough differences that it's not gonna feel like you're playing Stalingrad again.
yeah. And that'll be the thing. So, and again, I'm not saying don't get Berlin. I mean, guys, check it out. Let me know. I'm not pre-ordering it. I'm not asking for a review copy yet. I'm just kind of just letting them do their thing. And if I see enough good stuff, maybe I'll pick it up. And if I don't, or I'm just like, you know what, it doesn't click for me, and that's okay. That's okay. I don't necessarily at this point. Also, in my sort of wargaming hobby career, whatever, I'm not a collector. I don't have I've sold off so many games with my moves. We've moved multiple times that I don't even worry about collecting war games. So unlike Judd, who has a massive collection, which I am envious of, don't get me wrong, I don't, and I don't really have the space for it either. So for me, it's also a case of sometimes I look and I say, you know what? Do I really need to add that other game to my collection, or am I gonna have to unload another game? Because I'm running out of space, guys. Look, I got room for one game right there, and then that's it. No. So uh, well, thanks everybody. Yeah, we had lot of good games covered. Judd had a lot of great recommendations. I knew this would be a good show for Judd to cover a lot of different stuff because he got such a broad interest in war games.
Also
I'm
got a real
still,
strong opinion on what's introductory when I sit there and
I
gripe about. Oh,
I
another
love
one
it.
people try to call introductory that's not introductory is the oh GMT one that Carl Paradis Paradise. No
Oh,
retreat.
the no
No
retreat.
retreat.
Yeah,
Few counters does not
no,
make an introductory game. 24-page rule book should tell you plenty.
yeah, no. I'm with you on that. I'm with you on that on multiple games of his too. Same thing with the I don't
A
remember what it
follow up
is.
to that that's supposed to be easier, but I heard it really
Yeah,
wasn't.
it
Yeah.
really wasn't. I no. I was like, what is it? It's like this takes the combat's 12 steps.
Yeah.
Like it's not just because no, this isn't easier. Just because, like I said, fewer counters. Cool, but 12 each combat's 12 steps with 12 different die roll modifiers you got to check. So you miss one and you feel like a doofus because you missed something. Like, well, did that influence the combat or not? So anyway, not to be a Grinch. Let's end it with the good stuff. Happy holidays, Merry Christmas, everybody. Great time, and Judd, what a good show.
Yeah.
And I think in 2 weeks we're gonna. Well, I don't know what the topic's gonna be, but we're gonna have some fun. So everyone have a great holiday, great Christmas, And until next time,